lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join this discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Sleeping Warrior, Ranty Flat Earth, Mind Warp, Chocolate Sane, 10th Man, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. Very good to have you all.
Woohoo! Good Monday.
Good morning, all.
Good to be here.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello. Any signs of Earth curvature?
Definitely not.
Nah.
Any signs of...
There are signs of it.
Oh, excellent. Let's hear about the signs of Earth curve.
You can observe curvature.
No,
Where do we observe that?
Hold on, it's his claim. Yeah, when we say, yeah, that's great, tell us about it, don't just reassert the claim. You have to support the claim, not just paraphrase it.
Sure, you can see the curve from the ISS.
The ISS is claimed to be in a region that cannot possibly exist, a vacuum. So the ISS, whatever it may be, a light in the sky, is definitely not the set that they present on television, because it's claimed to be in a second law of thermodynamics violation. So anything that comes from that particular source is automatically deemed bunk because it's come from a fake medium.
Well, you said signs of it, so there are pictures. Those are signs, right?
That's the same assertion. I've just ripped that to pieces. Do you want to repeat back what I said to you rather than just claim it and completely ignore every word I said?
Well, you didn't rip it apart. You just strawmanned it, but that's all right.
Why are you giggling in the
Do you
background?
want to explain? Hold on. Do you want to explain why stating that the medium cannot possibly exist based on a law of nature is a straw man?
Yeah, because you asked if there were signs of Earth curvature. I said yes, there are photos from the International Space Station. You said no, there's no such thing as a vacuum next to gas pressure, aka an atmosphere in space. And that was your strawman assertion.
No, that's not a straw man. It's a direct address to the claim that you have a spaceship in a fake medium taking pictures of Earth curve. It's not a straw man. It's a direct address to your claim.
A direct address to the claim would be there's no such thing as the ISS.
No, that's not what I said. So that would be a misrepresentation of what I said. Clearly, you do need to repeat back what I said because you didn't hear it, because I did not say that. Hello? Do you want to repeat back what I actually said, see if you comprehended what I said?
I heard you.
Well, repeat it then.
No thanks.
Hey, Anthony, maybe I should put my arm around this wanker. So you're going to misrepresent what I've said, and when I ask you to repeat what I've said, the actual destruction of your claim of Earth curve from a fake medium, you're just going to say no?
Fake medium? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, that's why I asked you to repeat back what I said. Fake medium, yes. That would be about the fourth time I've said that. So don't say it with an upward inflection like it's somehow shock to hear it. Yes, that's how I took apart your claim of Earth curve.
I'm asking you to explain what you mean.
Sorry, did you ask me to explain it to you? I already have. That's why I'm asking you to repeat it back. You said you understood.
Why is it a fake medium?
Don't ask me a question. I'm asking you to repeat back what I've already stated. I've already taken to pieces your argument based on a law of nature. No? Okay, no worries. So, any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety as Ranty is here?
Nope.
No. Can I just clarify, Nathan? That guy's trolling. Yeah, you are allowed to berate that guy as heavy-handed as you wish because he's laughing in the background whilst he's answering your questions.
I'm not laughing.
Yeah, you are. I can tell you sat there with a smirk on your face. Have you got your dick in your hand as well?
No need. No need. Right, any signs of axial rotation?
Well, not of the Earth-based variety, anyway.
Nope. What's up, bro?
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Nope.
Accelerating
Not at
towards
all.
the ground at 9.8 meters per second.
Mass, weight.
What I have noticed, Nathan,
No
is that
evidence, but we can think of it as it.
What I've noticed, Nathan, is that the ballers love to infer that there is gravity in a scientific experiment when gravity is never the independent variable because you can't manipulate it, but they'll infer it anyway. I just find it hilarious.
That's all right. That's why we asked for scientific evidence of it. Obviously, baseless assertions with just so stories. No, not good enough.
Well, I mean, you can measure a 9.8 meters per second squared acceleration towards the ground. That would be a sign, correct?
Where do we observe that?
Yes, sir.
Where? Hello?
I suggest
Are you
watching
deaf?
Ballbusters.
Are you deaf? Where do we observe that?
If you put it in a vacuum,
If you
can see
sorry,
the 9.8
stop.
per second
If
acceleration.
you, sorry, no, we're dealing with natural science, not what man-made stuff does. So no, not what you do. If you put it in a vacuum, no. Where do we observe this in nature?
Wait, so no scientific experiments are allowed?
You don't know what science is. Physical and natural world. We're talking about natural science. This is a debate about the Earth. We're talking about natural science.
So putting things in a vacuum is unnatural science?
No, we first observe natural phenomena. Putting something in a vacuum is something a man does. So it's not a natural phenomena that you need to figure out the cause of.
Okay, I observe things fall to the ground. I ask the question.
Yeah, that's...
What
You've
might
just
make them
said
fall
it
to the ground?
again. Look, you don't understand how this works. Don't just paraphrase your claim. Support your claim. Don't just rephrase it and state it again. Where do we observe this? Don't just state that we observe it. Tell me where we observe it in nature. So then we can figure out the cause of whatever it is you claim.
Yes, when I reach V1 speed on an airplane, I can take off.
What part of
that V1
natural don't you
speed
understand? Look, this guy's a moron. V1 on a plane is a man-made thing. That's not a natural phenomena. Do you understand what the word natural means? Not made by man.
Yes, sir.
Not made by man. So natural. That's what we're looking for. Not
Reification fallacy. You have to define what is defined as a scientific experiment or observable phenomenon.
look. A plane is not a natural phenomena. Do you have a natural phenomena?
That's
or
a
not?
reification fallacy, Nathan.
It's not a what's a reification fallacy?
Dude, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't know what a reification.
Yeah, sir. That's a reification fallacy.
Yeah, don't
So
restate it.
you're saying,
Oh,
I
you
would
dick.
like evidence. Hold
Listen,
up, I'm sorry,
listen. If you make a claim, you
No,
follow it
hold
with
up,
support. You
sir.
don't just state the
Hey,
same
Nathan.
thing over again.
So-
Yes, I heard you accuse me of using a reification fallacy. Now I want you to tell us what a reification fallacy is. Then associate what I said to that fallacy. Go.
Yeah, so when someone makes a claim or asks for a particular piece of evidence according to particular criteria, and you saying, these are the criteria that I want, someone gives you criteria, then you say, no, these are this very specific criteria that I want, particularly when those criteria have no bearing on the signs or proof or evidence that you're trying to assert in a debate.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think that matches the actual definition of a reification
I'll read it.
fallacy.
Let's read it. Bring it back up. Reification, also known as concretism, hypothesization, or the fallacy of misplaced concretedness, is a fallacy of ambiguity when an abstraction, abstract belief, or hypothetical construct is treated as if it were a concrete real event or physical entity. In other words, it is the error of treating something that is not concrete, such as an idea, as a concrete thing. A common case of reification is the confusion of a model with reality. Quote,
Nice.
the map is not the territory. That would be a reification fallacy. So do you want to explain how I have reified something that is concrete into something that is, sorry, something that is not concrete into something that is real? Go ahead and explain how I've done that.
Yeah, so reification fallacies also work the opposite way. So when you say something that is real, such as an airplane, right, and you call it not real.
Citation,
That's
please.
true.
Hold
Well,
on.
where does it say that?
No,
I
no.
don't see that here.
Yeah,
That's
citation,
really
please.
interesting.
Citation.
Reification fallacies work both ways. in a
Don't
debate
restate
like that.
it.
So you
Listen,
can either take-
this
hold
dick
up.
doesn't
You can
get
either
it.
take-
You
can
don't
either
just
take
restate it.
abstract
Stop
debates as
talking.
concrete, or could
Stop
say that it's not valid because
talking.
it's abstract.
It's related to the
Stop
pathetic
talking,
fallacy.
please.
I think it's something like he did
getting
with the
rumpus by my own
ISS, right?
panel. Yeah. You're supposed to support your claim, not repeat your claim. So if you're going to state that a reification
No worries.
fallacy...
Yep.
Yeah, I'm talking. If you're going to state that a reification fallacy is something other than what I've just read off screen from some random member of the panel who put it up on screen, then cite something different. Don't just restate what you have already stated. Support your claim.
Yeah, you tried to say something, a concrete example that I gave was not concrete. Reification fallacy, the example that you gave was abstract to concrete, right? Or
I didn't give an
concrete to
example.
abstract.
Stop talking.
Yeah.
I didn't give an example. You gave an example of a plane. And I said that's not natural.
Yep.
Now explain how that's a reification fallacy.
Because you said that that's not natural.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
It's
not
using
natural.
the
That's
idea of
correct.
natural
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there
that's
as some-
correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not
What's that?
natural. A plane's not natural. But what I have stated in counter...
Introducing that,
He's just going to rumpus the living shit out of me. Yeah, stating that a plane is not natural is not a reification fallacy.
yes, but
I like
trying
to-
to introduce
I like
that
to
as the
read
reason
the
that it can't be
definition of
considered.
natural
Excuse me,
world.
Tin Man. Hey, Tin Man. Excuse me. But stating that as a reason to dismiss evidence is.
It's not a reification fallacy.
Let me read now the definition of natural world, okay, by Webster. All of the animals, plants, and other things existing in nature and not made or caused by people.
Sorry,
Yeah, so
did
why
he
can't
just...
things
I think
that are
we'll
made
find
by
that
man
while you
or
were reading
caused
that
by
out,
people
he just
be used
chuckled.
as evidence?
Now he's talking while I'm talking. So it seems like while he was reading that out, you started chuckling.
Yeah, because reading from Merriam-Webster's dictionary.
So
isn't
let's
really
just shut you up then and
evidence.
stick you on server mute while we carry on with housekeeping. Don't laugh while he reads out a definition. I'm not guilty of a reification fallacy when I point out that a plane isn't natural. That is absolutely not a reification fallacy, you complete bonehead. So we'll shut you up because you're a dick and you don't know what fallacy you're claiming. Don't falsely accuse me of a fallacy, then keep babbling over the top of me. I have not used a reification fallacy. I've pointed out that what you claim was science, when asked for scientific evidence of gravity, was a man-made device travelling at Mach whatever. That's not natural, you stupid idiot. So let's move on. No scientific evidence of gravity given.
Right. Oh, by the way, just a small supplemental. I'm looking around for other sources to figure out reification, and this one doesn't give that supposed other format that the guy was talking about either. It's very simple. It's just one thing, and it has apparently a relation to pathetic fallacy. And that's it. That's the only thing that's defined about it in every page that I come across. So
And even if it was a reification fallacy, he would have been guilty of it from the first thing he said. asserting the ISS and things like that are real. So whatever, bro.
Yeah, I can do that with being falsely accused of fallacious reasoning when I'm taking apart a claim he's made, and he says, well, your claim is a... It's like, I've made a claim. What are you talking about? Nonsense. Let's get on with housekeeping. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Not measurable.
Nope.
No?
Far away.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No.
Definitely not. We need to get Paul Voigt's toe tag number on that one sorted, because people still talk about that and say, well, why is that in housekeeping? Paul Voigt, he's the reason why. If anybody knows where that one is, shout.
He never came back. He never came back after that.
Say that again, Nathan.
He never came back.
No, he never came back. That's why Paul Voigt needs his toe tag number. So if anybody knows which hangout that was, let us know.
Took Taylor and ran, didn't he?
Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container?
Not even in Anthony's jar.
Just walk outside and presuppose it.
What, like, any evidence of Earth radius?
Same thing.
There's no evidence of Earth radius, but you can think that there might be evidence for radius.
That's right. You just walk outside, keep on walking, and then you imagine that you're walking around the globe. Works.
There's a rewrite of Narnia to modern day topics, and they have in there reification airlines. So maybe it can happen.
That concludes the housekeeping. Thank you all who took part.
They got to live in Narnia to come up with some of the stuff they come up with.
Got Dawn here.
Hello?
Hello, Dawn.
No?
We were talking about you in the pre-show.
Yeah, I said that you were one of the politest but dumbest ballers I've ever spoke with.
I don't think Dawn wants to talk. Don't blame you, Dawn.
You might have offended him.
For some reason, I'm now just imagining that the Discord room is like a separate room connected to our room. And the ballers have come in and they've just pretty much turned over the tables and are hiding behind them now.
Got Brenda as well. Hey, Brenda.
Good morning.
And King Daddy, how you doing?
Have you when they're going to be offering trips to visit the ISS, would you have a GoFundMe to make that trip?
Ridiculous.
Okay, so they're going to be right. Okay, can you come back and tell us when they've done it?
They're going to the moon as well, apparently. Within 5
That's
years,
fine. That's fine.
So are these trips to the
if-
ISS going to be based on ayahuasca? Or some other type of mushroom extract?
So the question to Nathan is, would he have a GoFundMe to make that trip to the ISS? They're offering that.
Okay, I'll answer you. The ISS is in a fake medium. Whatever they claim it to be.
But would you go?
Yeah, I was in the middle of a sentence.
It's right here in the Netherlands.
Middle of a
Brenda.
sentence.
Wanna go
Yeah,
to
middle
it,
of a
you just
sentence.
come here.
I let her ask her nonsense. Whatever they say is automatically fake. Whatever we see as a light in the sky is not the set they film the interior. That is on Earth. It's a set with film cameras and high wire. It's absolutely not in a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. There is no going to the ISS.
You could expose that.
There's no going to the ISS unless you're claiming that you want to go to the set where it's filmed, because it's not in a vacuum of space. That's Narnia. It doesn't exist. It's not possible to have a vacuum of the sky.
You could expose that.
I am
We
exposing
already
it.
have.
I am. Listen up. This is me exposing the ISS. Whatever they claim the ISS is on your television screen is a lie. The reason being they claim it is in a vacuum, outer space. You can't have gas pressure next to a vacuum. It violates a natural law. There you go. That's me destroying anything that's claimed to be in space.
You could expose that
I
by
have.
documenting
I
how,
did.
how they.
Just then.
Yeah, Brenda, if you really want us to do that, then you pay for it.
Well,
And
I'll tell you
then
what.
we'll in person find out that it's fake and we'll share that data with you, okay?
Wouldn't it be better to discuss this when this ISS trip is supposedly up and running?
I was just asking the question: when they
Yeah.
offer trips, would you have a GoFundMe or in some way have a fund to take that trip in order to conclusively expose the lie?
I have conclusively exposed the lie. They claim the ISS is in a region that violates a law of nature. That conclusively debunks any notion of men travelling around in a sky vacuum. It is simply not possible to happen. Would I have a GoFundMe to give money to charlatans that I already know are lying? No. And in the same way, the guy on the beach who's playing 3-card Monty, if some shill comes up to me and says, look, he'll prove it's not a con, yeah, no, I walk away from the shill. The shill in this example being you, the one shilling for the ISS.
So why wouldn't you take advantage of a chance and of an opportunity to conclusively show to other people who are not convinced or just otherwise have never heard of you, right? There's lots of people who've never heard of you.
I've already debunked it. How many? This is the 3rd time. They claim it's in a region that cannot exist, like Narnia. You cannot have a sky vacuum. The gas we breathe would fill the space. The claimed area that spaceship is in, space, violates a natural law. It can't possibly be real. That debunks the ISS. I don't need to now buy into their bullshit or any pretend trips they claim the public will be going to, because they won't be. You can't go to Narnia. It's not real.
Well, I don't understand why you wouldn't take the opportunity to take.
Because it's not real. Because you can't travel to Narnia. If someone comes up on the street and says, do you want to go to Narnia through the wardrobe? I already know Narnia's fake. So am I going to pay him a substantial amount of money to pretend to put me through a wardrobe? No.
Well,
I already know it's
There's
fake.
other people in order to show other people who might be duped by the person taking.
I'll do that now.
Look what happened to Greater Sapien.
Do that.
He paid $20,000 to go on a plane trip that was supposed to expose the flat Earth that never took place. It was just a big scam.
Yeah, Brenda, if
Well,
you want
presumably
that, you go
Nathan
do
wouldn't
it.
do that,
You go do it, Brenda.
right?
Yeah, have I answered your question? No, I wouldn't give charlatans money. Why? Because I already know they're a charlatan. How? Because they're claiming to be in Narnia. Fake. Space. Not possible. Violates a natural law. So no, I'm not going to give people who claim to violate natural laws, wizards, any money. No, I already exposed that it's not real by demonstrating with a natural law that it violates and therefore can't be real. So no need to give them any money.
Well, I don't understand why you don't want to take the flat Earth message to the rest of the world.
Shut up! You just explained
Let's shut
it
Brenda
3
up. Sick of
times.
it. Have you got any? Well, let's not shut her up before I ask. Anything else other than why would you not give money to charlatans? Is that your only point here today, Brenda?
No, it's why don't you want to take the flat Earth message to the rest of the people who
Here we
might.
go. I'll take the message to the rest of the people. Space is fake. It violates a law of nature, the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy would take effect. The gas we breathe, which is expanding in all directions, would want to go into the vacuum, the lower pressure system, based on a natural law. Therefore, space is fake. It cannot possibly exist, or we'd all be at 10 to the minus 17 torr at sea level. because the gas would fill the space. It doesn't. It's absolutely pressing on something. Not a vacuum. Gas can't press on a vacuum. It would disperse. It doesn't. Therefore, space is fake. No need to buy into their bullshit 3-carb Monty. No need to listen to the shills like Brenda who tell us that we should be paying them to show us how it's not fake. Yeah, I'll pay a magician to trick me when I already know he's a magician. These wizards aren't getting a dime out of me. I'll sit on my channel to the very limited audience I have and tell them space violates a natural law. There are no violations of this natural law. If there were, it wouldn't be a natural law. And yet you and your wizards and your fundy belief in a sky vacuum is all you have. So I don't need to go up and see that space is fake. I already know. Right, 1 string guitars only from the globe side, it seems.
Brenda, can I ask you a question? Brenda.
Oh, you're talking to me? I thought I was muted. See, I can't always tell because sometimes I'm muted and sometimes I'm not. What's your question?
Is gravity a force, Brenda?
Yes.
No further questions.
So, according to an astrophysicist priest of heliocentrism named George Musa, said in 2019, gravity is not a force.
But
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
think
that's
of
an
it as
appeal
a
to
force.
authority fallacy. That's an appeal to authority fallacy.
Incorrect. An appeal to authority would be if I asked my mum about whether or not convection currents on Venus were real. However, when you appeal to somebody who is an expert in their field, that is not an appeal to authority. Understand
No,
your
it
fallacies.
still is. When you limit it to only one person, it's still an appeal to authority. You need to appeal to the consensus of scientific opinion.
Oh, right. Well, we've got plenty of other people who say the same things.
The
Brian Cox
consensus
also
of
says
scientific opinion.
gravity is not really
Yeah,
a
that
force
was
at
cute,
all.
Brenda.
Sorry, gravity is not really a force at all. Quote, Brian Cox. I think he's also an astrophysicist, is he not?
Now, I'm kind of shocked. Like,
I think he's
I
a
don't
TV
think
personality. He's a
science.
TV
I don't think
personality.
science is like a democracy, Brenda. I think it's truth-based, not choice-based.
This is just a gravity on week because last week she was arguing that gravity wasn't a force, and this week it is a force. So maybe next week it won't be a force again. It's awesome.
Okay, I guess science is more like a lottery then.
Sorry, did you
Basically,
say
it's
just,
like gravity's a scratch off.
did you say Dr. Cox is just a personality? Dr. Brian Cox, that is.
You're just appealing to somebody in the media.
Yeah, you've repeated it again. So that's 2 different sources now. Dr. Brian Cox, who apparently is just a TV personality, but Dr. Brian Cox says gravity is not really a force at all. And George Musa, astrophysicist, says gravity is not a force. So this isn't an appeal to authority, as these are experts in the field of heliocentric religion. So absolutely not.
Brenda, further to my
So
question, Brenda.
I don't think that's the case because I don't think that you can
Yes,
just
it is,
appeal to
Brenda.
1 or 2 people. And
No, a minute ago it was appeal to authority. Now I'm just appealing to 1 or 2 people. Look, Brenda, you don't have to like this, you fundamentalist idiot. Gravity is not a force, whether you like it or not. It's tough crap.
Brenda, could I just ask you, could you tell me what gravity is? Could you define it for me, please?
it's a force.
George Musa, 2019. In quotes, gravity is not a force. Dr. Brian Cox, 2016. Gravity is not really a force at all.
Yeah, so what? That's just an appeal to authority.
No, it's not an appeal to authority. Appeal to authority would be if I asked my mother about gravity, as opposed to an expert in their field. That's not an appeal to authority. That's the second time she's levelled this at me. So clearly we're in a position where we're going to get Brenda the stuck record constantly circle jerking us around with the same accusation being made, me making the same rebuttal, her completely ignoring it and then making the same exact accusation a few moments later. I'm just tired of her.
Right. Yeah, Brenda's like a disco song, just keeps on playing the same loop over and over again.
Right.
Well,
She's got nothing.
Didn't the whole scientific so-called community say Einsteinian took over Newtonian? So aren't they?
That was why I asked her to define what gravity is, because I'd like to know what Brenda thinks gravity is, because I'm a little confused.
Well, I'm sick of hearing from her. She keeps saying it's force when it isn't. So I'm tired of her.
Well, the whole of science is saying it isn't now. So-called science.
It's an apparent attraction that can be treated as a force sometimes.
Real quick, I want to dedicate a quote to one of these
Apparent-
chat trolls.
Hold on, Don said something.
Oh,
Don.
so okay, go ahead.
That's my definition of gravity for Riley.
Go on then, Dawn. You're going to define gravity for us. What is gravity?
I think it's an apparent attraction that can be treated as a force sometimes.
An apparent attraction. So, are you an apparent female, Dawn?
No, hopefully not.
Right. So, are you ever going to be a female, Dawn?
No, I mean people do appear when they're not female, don't they? That happens.
It's not an attraction, then, is it, Dawn?
Yeah, it's an apparent attraction. That's my definition of it.
Yeah, apparent is fake, not
Yeah.
real.
So
No,
does
it
that
could
make
be
you an
real,
apparent
we just
female?
don't know. So far we've just got the appearance of the attraction.
Yeah. So, Dawn, you're an apparent female.
I don't think so. No.
I do. You're an apparent female. I can think of you as a female.
If you really want.
There you go.
Weird,
So
though.
it's the same applies for your
So,
perception of gravity.
hold on. He's just said if you like. So, him thinking you as a female, does that mean you are female, Dawn?
No, I'm not saying.
So
it is
thinking
an
of something
attraction.
as
I'm
something
saying we've
else
got the
doesn't mean it
appearance of an
is.
attraction.
So thinking of something as though it's something else doesn't mean it is that something else. So although
of
we
course-
can
of course
think
not.
of you as being female, that doesn't make you female. That's Anthony's point.
I'm
Yeah.
agreeing. Yes.
Yeah, so
Right.
you can think of it as a force, but it isn't a force, Dawn.
Yes. I'm agreeing.
Excellent. So not a force then, Dawn. Not a force.
An apparent attraction that can be treated as a force sometimes.
An apparent attraction means not an attraction, Dawn.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It means apparent attraction. It means there
doesn't,
could
though.
be an attraction.
You could also call it
appears
a
to be
wannabe
attractive.
attraction.
No
Because
worries.
it's not
Let's
real.
dispense with this.
Wannabe.
Show me an apparent attraction, please.
It's a
I guess I'll
fantasist
use
standing on the
Neil
side,
deGrasse Tyson
imagining
mic drop.
how somebody would be attracted to them, but in reality, they're just standing there, not doing anything.
Yeah. They could actually be attracted to him, right?
Yeah, a fantasy. That's what that is.
Oh, just the appearance of something.
No, it just appears like there's something happening to the
Yeah.
person in their
It
experience.
appears to
But
be
in
attracting-
reality,
Earth
the
appears to be
physical
attracting
reality,
mass.
there's not anything happening. He's just standing there daydreaming.
Well, you don't know, do you, until you go and ask him.
Or you could look at him and just look at him standing there, and then
Yeah.
afterwards, like, hey, what are you thinking about?
If
And then
there's
he
an
could tell
appearance
you.
of an attraction, that's good evidence that there might be an actual attraction, isn't it?
Oh my god.
Yeah, but you had to walk
You
over
don't think
there.
appearances
They told you they were
sometimes
like
turn
a
out to be true?
No, Dawn. It's been made clear by astrophysicists. Didn't you listen?
Yeah, it's not a force. It's still an
Yeah.
attraction, right?
So saying it might turn out to be a force when it's made clear in your rhetoric that it's not a force is never going to happen, is it, Dawn? So wishful thinking, maybe.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing for force. I'm just saying it's an apparent attraction.
That's a non-attraction then. So it's not a force, not an attraction. Yeah, okay, we're in agreement. Jolly
We
good.
have the appearance of an attraction, and we can treat it like a force for maths and stuff.
Yeah, we can treat you like a woman because you are a woman.
If you want to,
Because
yeah.
you are a
That's
woman.
really weird, but if you want to, yeah.
Yeah, because you are a woman. Treating you like one makes you one, doesn't it, Dawn?
No.
No. So
I agree,
treating
it
it like a force, imagining that it's a force, thinking of it as a force, will never make it a force. Do you
But
understand?
you telling us that us thinking of it as a force doesn't make it a force won't stop us thinking of it as a force.
We know.
We can't stop you
we
from
know.
being
Hold on, let me
delusional,
gloat
that's
in this moment. Yeah, we know that you will still hold a fundamentalist religious belief about it, no matter how much it's pointed out that
So
it's
you're
nonsense.
just going to keep whinging about it all
Yeah,
day,
no, we're not
every day
whinging, we're
on the
laughing
internet.
at you, Dawn. You with your double-speak and fundamentalist belief in
Well,
a
we're all
non-force.
laughing at each other.
In
Yeah,
a
we're
non-force
definitely
force
laughing,
that gives
Dawn,
rise
because
to
that
a
was a
force.
ridiculous statement you just made, bro. We're
What?
just gonna keep
What did I
thinking
make?
about it. Nah. We don't care.
Which one did I make?
Ridiculous,
We'll carry
man.
on pretending whether
You
you
can
like
never
it or
take
not,
away
and
our
all you
beliefs.
can do is
That's
moan.
right.
Yeah, it's not though, is it? It's treated as a force because it acts like a force.
Yeah,
So
we
that's
know.
why
It's
people
treated
treat
like
it as a
one.
force.
Yeah, treated. This
It's
non-force.
acting. It's acting, just like actors are acting.
Yeah, just
It's
pretending.
not really real. It just looks like it.
Yeah,
Why
just
is
pretending.
this
Okay.
cognitive dissonance
But-
not mending here, Don?
Yeah,
We've,
Don, keep
we've
searching for the
discovered
right
that there's an
combination of
apparent
words that'll make
attraction
that statement true.
between
Go ahead.
masses, and it's not a force, but we can treat it as a force. So we've established that.
They're not nice, but you can treat them as nice.
Yeah, it's like I think dark energy. It's not anti-gravity, but you can treat it as anti-gravity. So I heard this one.
more fundamentalist religious assertions. I love it. Any old bullshit they feed you, you'll believe, won't you, Dawn?
It just sounds to
Nah,
me like,
not
yeah,
anything.
you can act upon whatever fantasy you like. That's basically the statement.
I'm not sure how much I believe in the ISS. That's why I'd like you to go, like Brenda was suggesting. You should go on there and prove it to us that it's fake.
I have.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I have.
You've just
It's in a fake
asserted- you've
medium.
asserted it.
It's in a fake medium. The medium is Narnia. It can't possibly be real.
Wait, so
Sadly,
Dawn, I got a question.
billions
When
of
you
people
heard
still
like people
believe in
were gonna
fake or
start going
random
to the
planets, so-
ISS, did you think it was a good idea? Did you think, yeah, now we can definitely prove the ISS is up there because they're gonna start sending people up there? Was that how you thought about it?
I've never heard of it before. Brenda said. I just think if your argument is that it's fake, why don't you prove it?
I have proven it. I'll say it again. The region the ISS is claimed to be in is space, and space is claimed to be a vacuum. Now, gas pressure wants to expand in all directions. High pressure would flow into the low pressure vacuum. Because it's not pressing on it, it would disperse into it, leaving us at the claimed level of vacuum that space is claimed to be. It would reach equilibrium, and we would be at 10 to the minus 17 torr at sea level. Because the gas can't press on anything, it would instantly disperse into the fake medium that can't possibly be real. So I don't need to travel to a claimed fake place. I'm not going to be walking through any wardrobes to Narnia to know that Narnia is not real. Your religious assertion that the sky is a vacuum defies a law of nature.
Nathan, do you remember when
It's not
the
my
supposed
assertion.
ISS was hit by a meteorite, and they stuck a finger in there to plug the hole?
What, on the set? They certainly weren't doing that in space, because space is fake. It violates a law of nature. It can't possibly be real. It's like Narnia. So they might have been sticking fingers in holes in a set somewhere in the States, but they certainly weren't doing it in a vacuum of the sky, because that's not real.
Yes, the report was that they were hit by a meteor, and one of the astronauts, to save the day, got his finger out and plugged the hole with it.
No way. No, it was hit by an album cover. You know that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, none of that happened. It's all just bullshit stories they made up. The region that was all claimed to take place in is fake.
What do you think about that,
believe
Dawn?
it,
What do you think about that, Dawn? It suffered a strike by a meteor, and he stuck his finger in it to plug the hole. What do you think of that?
I think it's a very silly story. I don't know. It's unreal to me.
Very true, though.
You can make up anything you like about
They're
Narnia.
trolling you,
You
maybe.
can have
They
any
might be
plot you like.
trolling you.
You can have any plot you like in Narnia, and they can have any plot they like in a fake place they've just made up.
It's a
Space.
good analogy. 'Cause I would go though if you invited me, even if I doubted it was real, I'd still go.
Okay, no worries. I want
Just
you to
in
set
case-
up a
just
go.
in case
No
it
worries.
was.
Okay, I'll test you on that. Narnia is our destination, Dawn, and you need 10,000 rupees in order to come. So you're going to raise those rupees?
That's not a lot, Nathan. That's
No,
like
I know,
50
someone
it's
euros
paid
in
for
India.
me.
I know, it's cheap. Cheap as chips. So you're going to raise the
And,
rupees to
and
go to
Zelda, that'll
Narnia?
get you a lot.
I get your point. It's not worth the risk in case they brainwash you and take you into a basement somewhere instead
No,
of
we're
Narnia.
not. We're talking about Narnia, right? I have access to the wardrobe. Are you going to raise the money to go through the wardrobe door into Narnia or not?
No, I don't trust you. Sorry.
Why not? It's real. I've got pictures, mate, and video.
If
But
the
you don't
crowd
got a body
raise
of
the money,
science
yeah,
to support you.
I'll come. But I haven't got the money myself.
Right. So you would actually pay money to go to Narnia?
Oh, not me. If Flat Earth community is going to pay, yeah.
Well, I'm asking you, Dawn. Would you pay to go to Narnia, an obviously fake region?
If I was a millionaire, yes.
Well, then you're an idiot. A fool and their money's easily parted. You being that fool, and anybody who buys into the ISS in a fake region would also be as foolish as you.
Whoa,
There's a
dude!
chance
I
it
was
could be
actually
real.
kind of
There's a
right.
small chance
5,000
it could be
rupees
real.
is 63 euros.
Yeah?
Whoever does that has to come out of the closet.
We have
Right,
to
got
reach
two
for the
people-
stars, guys. We can't
people sharing.
give up.
Does
We
somebody
can't
wanna
just
put
be
s-
humans crawling around on the ground like ants. We have to reach for the stars and heaven. We have to stretch upwards.
Are you praying?
Ascend to the sky.
Are you praying? Sorry.
We don't, however much you lot learn, that's what people are doing. That's what they're trying to do. That's what's going on.
Yeah, they want to go to heaven. I know. They're fundies. They're idiots. They believe in the priest's stories about sky vacuums. I know.
Some of them seem to be getting somewhere near there. They're going up.
Who are? You?
No, not me.
Right, so the priests. And the people that the priests say are legit and have been
The
vouched for by the
Freemasons,
priests. They're going to be the people that go, Dawn.
The Masons. The Masons are currently ascending, and you lot are just whinging about it, so pretending it's fake.
Not pretending it violates a law of nature, Dawn. How many times have I got to say it?
You just pick and choose which law of natures you believe in, don't you?
No, you just pick and choose which laws of nature you believe in. You believe in a violation of a law of nature. That would be a vacuum of the sky. You pick and choose. I know it's a law of nature. It holds true always. If it didn't, it wouldn't be a law of nature anymore. It is, because it does.
the law of gravitation.
You, on the other hand, decide that it doesn't apply to your fundamentalist religious belief in a sky vacuum known as outer space. So no, Dawn, don't level the idea that I pick and choose when your sky vacuum violates that law.
I don't think it applies to...
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, what a great fundamentalist religious zealot assertion right in the face of it. So I don't think that law of nature applies. So you just pick and choose then?
No, I still believe it's the true law. I just don't think it applies to the whole atmospheric nature of the planet. Like,
yeah, planet. Your fundy belief in a planet has a violation of a law of nature, and you don't think it applies, yet you've just levelled an accusation that I pick and choose. No, Dawn, you fundy zealot. You pick and choose.
Well, maybe we all do.
No, we don't. Only the globe-head religious zealots like yourself decide that laws of nature don't apply because their beliefs defy
Law of
them.
gravitation. Do you believe in that one?
No, it's not a law.
No.
We don't observe it ever. How can we observe it as a law of nature when it's not a force, Dawn? What are we observing? Nothing happening. Yeah, that's not a law of nature, my friend. That's nothing happening.
The appearance of attraction. That's what
No appearance. We don't see that happening. There is no force of attraction. If there was, Dawn, we'd all be sucked to the nearest mass, i.e. a huge mountain. We're not. Right? There is no force of attraction between masses. That's been made clear by the astrophysicists. You can deny it all you like. It's not a force. There's nothing to observe. Unless you're going to claim we should be observing bendy space-time, a conceptual medium. No, Dawn. There's nothing to observe. It's not a law. There's nothing happening in nature. We don't observe mass attracting mass, my friend.
Would you like me to read this report?
Go ahead. Does it beg the question of space? I bet a pound it does.
It does, yeah.
Go ahead.
The International Space Station has sprung a leak after being hit by space junk or a micrometeorite. Mission flight controllers in Houston and Moscow noticed a drop in pressure on Wednesday night. Just noticed it. And on Thursday, they found a hole. It would have taken 18 days for the crew to run out of there if they had not spotted the leak, Nathan, apparently. The damage was found by closing hatches to each module, etc. And Alexander Gerst initially plugged the gap with his finger before using duct tape to cover the hole, preventing the air leaking into space. Wow. I'll tell you what, when I get a hole in my tyre on my car, I'm going to use duct tape because it seems to do a very good job. Anyway, there we go. So there was a real life hit on the ISS apparently, Dawn, that created a hole, and he stuck his finger in it to repair it.
No, there wasn't.
Do you know the brand of duct
Hold on,
tape?
10th man. I'm not repeating the same thing 5 times, so you can jump in. No, there wasn't. None of that happened. So it says quite clearly the word space. And if you scroll up, just so we can see the graphic that they've got of the ISS that they claim is in space, according to them, this black bit is a vacuum 10 to the minus 17 torr. And according to them, this is where we live. Well, all of this is gas pressure wanting to expand rapidly in all directions. If this was a vacuum, then the gas would fill the space. So everything they've just claimed in this article about what happens on this bullshit here is completely debunked by the fact that we have a natural law that's being violated by the very picture that they show. So none of that happened. There was no hole in some claimed spaceship. The medium is fake. So none of that's true.
What do you think of that, Dawn? Hello? Dawn?
I'm on mute. I don't know if I believe it. I don't give it much credibility.
Okay, because you see it was reported all over the place.
Maybe they had a hole, but the finger thing is like an exaggeration. Maybe they used a finger and something.
No, there was no hole. Every part of that narrative is a lie because it is claimed to take place in a region that violates a natural law. As depicted moments earlier, the black bit's supposed to be a vacuum, and right next to it is gas pressure, wanting to expand rapidly in all directions. So if that picture was true, the gas would fill the space.
Sounds like a fundy belief to me.
What you talking about? It's your fundy belief.
Exactly.
I don't believe pictures on TV that violate natural laws. They're just pictures from priests, pseudoscientists, pretender clowns that claim they have science. They're lying about that too.
In this fake story, Don, they're supposedly in a container that sprung a small leak, and they're using fingers and duct tape to keep the air in. The background, meanwhile, shows the whole Earth with an atmosphere with no container. How's the air stay on?
Gravity.
Could someone explain to me which law gets violated by the space outside our atmosphere?
Yeah, no worries. Second law of thermodynamics, entropy.
Okay. So, like, doesn't entropy kind of state, like, when it comes to gases, because we are talking about gases, doesn't it say, like, that those get distributed equally, right? So that if I have, let's say, a high gas pressure and a low gas pressure, the pressure will equalize, right?
In a static system, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's not what I see when we look at our atmosphere.
Yeah, that's why I said in a static system. We don't live in a static system. We live in a dynamic system.
So what causes it to be dynamic then? What makes
exchange
this
the nitrogen cycle, the carbon cycle? What part of this didn't you get from the show when you were, I believe, on the panel when we went through this? We have cycles. The gases are produced.
Wasn't through. Like we have cycles.
Oh, my bad. I was just answering your question. My bad. My bad.
So, I wasn't hearing you. Sorry.
Well, then shut up, and you'll hear me. When you're talking, typically you don't hear me because you close everyone's gate. Yeah. So we have cycles. The gases are produced at ground level, not in the middle of the sky. So surprisingly, the gases are at the highest concentration where they're produced at ground level.
Or they're getting produced. Let's say a forest, the Amazonas, right? The Amazonas forest. How do you think
what's the point in this? Why am I being asked questions about this? So yes, we have a dynamic system giving us a pressure gradient. However, the pressure is still pressure. It also violates Boyle's law. So you'd need to press on something to have pressure, and you can't press on a vacuum. Is there any rebuttal to that, or is this just an endless series of questions about how cycles work?
Do you know how trees grow, Nathan?
So this is just an endless question series to me about how the cycles work. Right, Zinder,
So-
the gas
Yeah.
would fill the space because it cannot press on anything if it's a vacuum in the sky. Do you have a rebuttal to that rather than endless questions about nature that don't relate to the sky vacuum and your fundamentalist religious belief in it?
Of course, if you let me get to the point. Because when a tree grows, it takes carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and turns it into plant mass. So when let's say we have a forest fire
No,
that
glucose.
destroys a lot of the forests,
Glucose.
and then much gas gets into the atmosphere. But once the plants grow, it takes gas away, which means that we should have lower gas pressure at sea level at that point at a specific region. That doesn't happen. The gas pressure is constant. So either entropy is wrong, or we don't live on a flat Earth with a pressure gradient as we experience.
Sorry, we do
pressure
experience
gradient
pressure
right
gradient.
now.
That's the first thing. So where'd you get the gas pressure from in the first instance then?
Well, when we look at entropy and how it states that everything, all the gas should be equalized.
That's not what I asked.
The
do you
only
get...
thing that would
That's not what I
explain
asked.
it.
Sorry, that's not what I asked. Where did you get gas pressure from in the first instance? What's it pressing on?
Alright, then I'm gonna repeat it. When I look at entropy and seeing how everything should get equalized, but it doesn't get equalized, the
No, it
only
does.
thing I can assert there
No, it does.
is that we have an
No, it does.
acceleration.
Sorry, you've
a
just
downward
violated that natural law.
acceleration that
Why are you doing this?
does-
Stop! No, it does. Everything reaches its equilibrium. It's seeking equilibrium always. That's what entropy is. So to say no, it doesn't do that anymore. Well, no, yeah, it does hold true. If it didn't, it wouldn't be a natural law, Zinder. So violating it in the sentence that you're using isn't going to fly.
No, it isn't. The second law never gets violated because it's one of the most stable laws that exists.
Right.
So
Zinder, can I help
when-
you out here? Hold on.
No, wait. So
Wait,
when
wait,
I
can
look,
explain this. I can visualize it for
no,
you.
I was talking,
Wait,
dude.
I know, but here, because you just keep
Dude, I was
reiterating-
fucking
I know the
talking.
pressure gradient, but just answer me this.
I was
If you-
talking,
I know,
dude.
I know. Just answer this. If you
No,
had
I'm not gonna answer a question before I
Zinder,
done
you
talking.
understand the pressure gradient argument you've made 7 times. We understand it. We don't need to hear it 8. So just, I'm going to address it, and it's going to end your argument, and then we can move on. If you had a tire, right, and you put heat on one side and cold on the other, and then started moving those heat sources around the tire, would you have an equal pressure in that tire, or would it be a gradient and dynamic? There you go. Let's move on.
Well, you claim that because of
No, I didn't claim anything. You would have a temperature difference where the heat source was, and then where you had a colder source, you would have it be colder, and it would be constantly trying to equalize. But as the source of heat moved, and as a lower source of negative, like a lower energy entropy action took place on the other side, you would have a constant flow from the heat to the cold, which would result, temperature and pressure are related, so you would have not only a temperature gradient, but also a pressure gradient. So this has been slayed. So please do not try and revive the pressure gradient disproves flat Earth when it does not.
All right, let me ask you one question then.
There is no
when it
question.
comes
You haven't
to
answered
yes.
mine. You haven't
No,
answered mine.
I'm gonna-
You haven't answered mine. Where'd you get the gas pressure from in the first instance? You keep
No,
talking about
I
gas
allowed
pressure.
Hang on, just admit that that's a pretty nail in the coffin there for the Globers. Seriously, You can have,
I
pressure
allowed
changes
him,
with heat.
Ranty,
Exactly.
I allowed him to make a statement, so I would like to respond to him.
But that's your
before I could
argument
even-
done and dusted right there, literally.
Are you gonna let me talk and respond?
Sure.
Or
No
is it
worries.
like
Please respond.
nonsense?
Where'd you get the gas pressure from?
All right, right the hand. When it comes to gas, which part of the gas is denser usually, the cold gas or the hot gas?
Bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
No,
matter.
because
Bro, hold on. Density is the amount of matter in a volume. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you had a tire, when you took a density reading based on the temperature, pressure, you would have a different density around the tire. It would be you would get varying results. So you're just arguing values prove what you believe. You're saying if I measure this and I get this value of X, it proves what I believe. No, measuring something will never, ever, ever, ever prove the cause. You can watch me draw a circle with my hand, okay? You can time me drawing it. You can tell me how long it'll take. You can predict where my hand will be. You will never explain why I drew it.
well, a strange argument, but however, when you look at a balloon rising, like those like those balloons that they put fire under it, right? And then it rises because the air inside the balloon is hot. It expands when it gets hot, right? So it rises. But when we look at the atmosphere, at let's say where airplanes travel, we have minus 50 degrees Celsius, but the air density is less dense than at sea level. So your temperature argument completely falls apart when it comes to the pressure gradient.
Sorry, we know
No,
we've got a
because-
pressure gradient. Where did you get the gas pressure from if the sky is a vacuum?
The same way we get the pressure gradient from some kind of downward acceleration.
What downward acceleration?
Yeah, that would completely explain why entropy is still valid. Because when it comes to entropy, it would be affected by a downward acceleration, which would create a pressure gradient.
No. Do you want to
No,
cite?
no,
Hold
it
on.
wouldn't.
Hold on. Do you want to
They
cite
would
some-
only within a closed
Ugh.
container.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to cite something that says that there's some sort of force that can negate gases expanding in all directions? Do you want to show me that force? Scientifically validate it, cite it, prove it.
Yeah, if you,
I would like
if you
to.
give me
I
some
would like to
times,
respond to
I
that.
could send you
please.
something.
In there, because look, even if now I'm going straight back into baller lore, okay, and when it is discussed, it's pretty well admitted that gravity is supposedly considered as a weak force, and yeah, if it even is considered as a force at all, and then you get to entropy, it is considered one of the stronger forces. So yeah, even though the presumed gravity effect may be pushing at a constant on all matter, even though it's not actually sealing it off, that doesn't help against the awesome power of gas pressure expanding within the container. So the best you would get out of it is either a near vacuum on the Earth that's just slightly higher than the rest of outer space universe, or you would get an outer gas universe that would be slightly lower pressure than on Earth.
And with that, I'll say if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. However, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, then a huge, massive, enormous thank you for smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. Also, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel on both Google Hangouts and Discord for making this show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching the premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!